Hey guys, Eric Sargent, General Manager at Ed Martin Toyota at Noblesville, Indiana, and today I'm going to show you one of the very last 2021 Heritage Edition Land Cruisers. Let's check it out. In the front we have retained the smoke chrome Heritage Edition trim pieces, so we have the black headlights, the smoke chrome grille, smoke chrome headlamp surrounds, as well as the lower fog surrounds. We have cut a hole in the front grille so that we can install a 30-inch Rigid Industries Adapt light bar. We have also a worn Zeon 12S Platinum 12,000-pound synthetic rope wirelessly controlled winch, trimmed off with a Factor 55 fair lead, as well as a Factor 55 Ultra hook. In the front we also have the ZR Tactical Services aluminum soft shackle compatible front recovery points. And then for underbody armor, we are using the Bud-built 5-piece underbody protection, which is the front engine, transmission transfer case, and factory fuel system skid plates in aluminum, and these are powder coated in a gray material. Suspension, we are using the OME BP-51 with SPC upper control arms. Tires are BFG KO2 305/65 18s wrapped on the Toyota factory BBS forged Heritage Edition wheel with block lug nuts. For rocker protection, we are using the Slee LX570 rock sliders, and we've tucked away 6 ProComp white LED rock lights up underneath the frame. They're wired to the dome light circuit, so when you open up any door or lock or unlock the car, they'll turn on. When you shut the door or lock the car, they'll turn off. There is an override in the Switch Pro as well as the RedVision to manually turn those on as well. On the side, we've done a chrome delete in a satin black paint. On the roof rack, we have a Prinsu full roof rack. We have the Prinsu Ridgeline handles right here, and then Baja Designs rock lights in amber, acting as a scene light right here as well. There's 2 on each side, left and right. And then on the far back, we have a cell phone booster. On the rear bumper, we have the Slee LC200 rear bumper, which is made of steel. It's a dual carrier, so you have the rear tire carrier as well. We have a matching TRD BBS Heritage Edition wheel, matching black lug nuts to match the car, and again matching KO2 tire. Opposite side, it comes with a ladder. There's various accessories that you can purchase, such as max tracks or high lift accessories. This one doesn't have either of them at the moment. One thing I like about this particular rear bumper is you do have a one-handle configuration, so when you want to shut it, you can grab it right here with your pinky finger, relatch it, and then pull forward. In this case, we'll open it up. It's still locked here, so we'll pull up on the T-handle, let it open up automatically with the shock assist, and then we're open. This bumper does retain the factory hitch receiver, so we're just kind of going through it here. We have additional reverse lights from Rigid Industries here, and this does maintain the factory backup and rear cross traffic sensors. Since this vehicle has a rear bumper, we went ahead and turned off the power button to the rear the power hatchback, so we don't accidentally open it up on the tire carriers themselves. 2018, they added a soft close tailgate, and this is a 21, so as you can see, it's soft close. Inside, we have a TrekBox Alpha system. We have a power outlet for the refrigerator, obviously not installed yet. And then we have, in case you're not familiar with the TrekBox system, we'll go ahead and pull out the drawer system. And then you have a kitchen prep surface, and then interior storage for any kind of utensils or any camping supplies that you may need. And then we'll shut that here, close that up. And then on the tall drawer, we have a Redarc RedVision, and this is something that we'll kind of go through as we talk about the dual battery setup, but it's integrated directly to the drawer on the TrekBox. It's good, easy placement for it, and we'll talk about this in just a moment. We'll go ahead and have you take a look on the inside just so you can see how the installation of that is. On the hatchback, we have the dual color Wayland red-white hatch lights. And then down here we have the additional electronic connections. We have a inverter that's mounted behind the second row, which we can show you that here in just a moment. We have your 110 outlet, which is ran as an extension cord off of the inverter. We also have a couple of extra USB-A ports here, and then 2 additional USB-A and 2 additional USB-C ports right above the 110 outlet. Inside the right side wing of the Trek box, we have a Redarc Manager 30. The RedVision device is actually behind the second row seats. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. We also have a Blue Seas fuse box. And then also we have the Blue Sea fuse box is for the additional electronics that we have back here. So you can notice that coming through this factory grommet, we do have additional wire loom running underneath on both sides. These wires are for the scene lights, the Baja scene lights. And then also we have a pre-wire set up for a rooftop tent. And these things are wired just through Deutsch connectors. So this one's plugged. This is for your rooftop tent with an actual plug on it. And then we have the additional Deutsch connectors that are removable for your side scene lights. If you ever need to maintain a scene light or move it, or if one ever went defective, you can just unplug it and plug it right back in. Okay, so mounted behind the Trek box, we have a Cotek 1000 watt pure sine inverter. This is the SP1000. This is the inverter to use if you're using a RedVision. They do talk seamlessly. And then we have the Redarc RedVision itself, which is the brains and guts of the display panel in the back, which we'll talk about right now. So this is the RedVision brain box. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on. Right now, all the buttons are locked. We're gonna go ahead and press it 2 times. It's gonna unlock the additional switches that we have here. Now this is more than just a switching device. We also have, we have left and right scene lights that we're switching through here. We also have the rock lights that we can turn on. So if you're outside at night and you're camping and you just want a little bit of underbody glow to the vehicle, you can turn on your rock lights. Also useful if you're ever on a trail at night and you need additional lightage for a spotter, you can just press on the rock lights and you're good to go. We have additional USB ports here, which are located right here, the USB A's and C's. These are both tied in to this switch right here. We also have the inverter, which is, again, the 1000 watt Cotek behind the seat. You can go ahead and turn that off right there. And then we have the refrigerator. I'm gonna go ahead and go down to page 2. And then we're gonna have additional 12 volts behind the third row, or behind the first row, excuse me. And then we have pre-wire connectivity through a Deutsch connector to the rooftop tent for additional lighting and charging compatibility for the user in the tent. Now, there's additional information on the screen. As you can see, there's 2 temperatures, 62 degrees on both. This car is inside, and it's not running. And so it's 62 degrees on both sensors. The 2 sensors, you can use them for whatever you want. We have one behind the RedVision and we have one behind the inverter to make sure that we're monitoring the temperature of that. It has the time. It also has the battery usage, which is at 91% capacity at the moment. The 3 days is telling us the run time on the current load before the battery drains to 0. And then we have an amperage meter here as well. So it's essential. You can see there's multiple pages here. If we hit left and right, we can look through. Again, the car's off at the moment. But we can see voltage, we can see amperage, we can see additional display settings. You can go in here, you can change all sorts of different things. Another neat thing about the RedVision too is that you can control this from a cell phone app. So whether it's an iPhone or an Android, if you're in your rooftop tent, you wanted to turn on some power or whatever, you can do that and you can see all the same information from the RedVision app. So in short, it's a really fancy switching device, and we like this particular unit a lot. It's probably one of the nicest and cleanest user interfaces out there. Additional power connectivity, we have another 110 extension off of the inverter going directly to access to the middle row. We have USB-A and USB-C on both sides for the passenger and the driver side rear passengers. In the middle row, we have an Alpine DVD player drop down. This is the PKG RSE3 HDMI. What makes this a unique unit, as to my knowledge, it's the only NTV drop down with an HDMI port. So what you can do is you can install an accessory device such as a game console or in this case we have an Apple TV connected to it. It's mounted underneath of the passenger side seat. So you can go ahead and link this to cellular or Wi-Fi and then stream away as you drive. And this unit is switched on and off through the Switch Pro, which we'll talk about right now. As for switching on the inside, we have our trusty Switch Pro 9100. We have an air compressor. We have a locker enable for the rear locker. We have the rear locker. We have the auxiliary one, which we're using to power on the Apple TV and the Alpine TV linked together on the same button right there. We additionally have our left and right scene lights, which are also controllable from the RedVision. So these are on a 3-way switch, as well as the rock lights. And then there's an auxiliary battery button And this is going to take the Redarc SBI 12 and it's going to link the two batteries, so you can jumpstart your crank battery with your auxiliary battery by hitting that button right there. The batteries will link up automatically. For Apple CarPlay connectivity, we are using the EC off-road unit, which I will also link to in the comments in the description. What we're doing here is this is directly linking as a integration to the factory radio, so we have full functionality of Apple CarPlay by the touch screen. I'm going to go ahead and to get back to the Toyota radio system, all we have to do is press on the home button for 2 seconds. It brings you back to the OEM Toyota system. We're on the auxiliary source, which links to the EC off-road unit, and then to switch back to CarPlay or Android Auto, just press that button for 2 more seconds, and then we're back to Apple CarPlay. One cool feature that we added on this is inside this additional center cubby where the wireless phone charger is housed, we ran an analog audio cable so that it can be plugged in directly to the legacy 1/8" audio jack on all Land Cruisers. The reason that this is kind of a neat feature is because when you're using an aftermarket DVD player, as we are in this vehicle, the ways of integrating the audio to the car are, if you're not using headphones, it would typically to use an FM modulator and run it on an FM station, which typically has a fairly lackluster quality. The advantage of this is that we have a true analog signal directly from the DVD player to the native audio system in the vehicle. For comms, we have a Midland GMRS radio, two-way radio. It's a MXT 275, mounted with a magnet clip right here to the left of the center console. When not needed, it just connects with an RJ45 Cat5 connector directly to an OEM style Cat5 connector right here in the OEM blank location. Just plug it in and you're good to go. Okay. To the left of the steering wheel, we have Redarc Tow Pro Elite trailer brake controller. And then we have the level gauge and on-off switch for the 25-gallon long-range fuel tank. Since we have a rear bumper and a spare tire carrier on the rear bumper, we do have additional room underneath in the OEM spare tire location for a 24-gallon auxiliary fuel tank. This is a long-range automotive 24-gallon. It is coated in Line-X, and we did upgrade the plumbing to 100% stainless steel fittings and marine grade hoses, as well as a fast transfer fuel pump. Under the hood, we have the Wayland red-white dual color waterproof lights controlled by a little triple rocker switch located right here on the side. Middle position is off. We also have a pin trigger override, so if you leave the lights on and you shut the hood, you can the lights will turn off automatically through the pin trigger. We have a dual battery setup. We replaced the lead acid crank battery with an AGM Group 31, and then our auxiliary battery is a Group 35 full river battery, which is which is installed on a Slee stainless steel auxiliary battery tray. We have a rear main, 300 amp mega fuse. We have an SBI 200, which is our Redarc smart battery isolator that connects the two batteries. In the event that you have a dead crank battery, then you can jump start it off of the auxiliary battery. We have the 40 amp for the ARB Twin Air Compressor, and then we have a rigid 30 amp on the adapt light bar located in the grill. Over here, we have the ARB Twin Air Compressor. We also have a rear locker, so this one has a manifold kit located in the rear of it. And then we have the ARB diff breathers located up here at hood line. Thanks for watching, and if you like the build, please hit thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell for future Land Cruiser content.